Welcome back to Rival Esports, and welcome back to the Spring Open. This is, of course, the finals as we continue what has been a three-part tournament series, and this is where it all comes down to. We switched out the casters. I'm Sam L. I'm with Unthink. Unthink, this has been a great tournament so far. I'm sure you've been watching in the wings. Great job done by Bacon and our guest there in Stacks. I'm big shoes to fill, but I'm hoping we can do it.
Yeah, you know, it's big shoes to fill indeed, following a motley crew. But I think we have some pretty big matchups to show the folks tonight, and hopefully we've got some big games to bring them. We've got a great one with FlyQuest taking on Lights Out, coming in for the second semifinals. So this is going to be a pretty exciting match. It's interesting. Lights Out makes their way through the bracket and makes it all the way here to FlyQuest, who's been a pretty strong performer coming out of their recent run in the Rival Series. It's going to be a very interesting best of 7.
Yeah, that's what's kind of interesting, I think, about this tournament is we sort of have a converging of all these different skill levels, but right along the same way. Obviously, G2 with the RLCS, you know, they're doing extremely well. They've made their way into LAN as expected, you know. And then on the other side of it is now Lights Out and FlyQuest. Obviously, Lights Out came very, very close to making it into the Rival Series. I believe they were just one win away from making it into that. And then FlyQuest that just really tore through that Rival Series and then also promoted into the RLCS for next season as well. So I love the implications of this to see which of these two teams is going to go up against G2. We just saw G2 look like they were going to get that sweep, Unthink, but Allegiance put up a nice fight against them. That was good to see as well.
You know, I was actually very surprised that G2 got ahead so quickly because I thought Allegiance would be able to put up the early game. But it was really great to see them come back through. Ty had a great stomp on a stop out of the defense that looked so promising. Overall, Allegiance, that was a great test for them to be able to play such a top team like G2, who's been performing so well in North America. And now we get to see FlyQuest, who's been coming in so they're playing with Pluto tonight, which is interesting. Okay. So they've swapped out Wonder for tonight's games, and that'll be their chance to play Pluto. I think that they're trying him out for a potential sub position. Pluto, who comes from Genesis, he's been a player for a long time. Absolutely incredible guy. Tons of fun to be around. So we'll see how he plays in this mix-up. Overall, Prime Thunder and AJ, I think that they're going to be the strong team here to bring that chemistry that they've had now for the past maybe 6 months or so. But it'll be great to see Pluto then matching up with them.
Yeah, I think that is an interesting thing to note because obviously Prime Thunder and Wonder, they've played together so much. They have a lot of chemistry. So I'll be curious myself to see how Pluto does to step in to this FlyQuest team and see how they do. Now, Lights Out, again, this is a pretty big challenge for them. They're a little bit under FlyQuest, if you want to kind of put it that way, judging based on previous results. So this is another really good test. But Lights Out, they finished second in our previous monthly, our very first monthly that they had. So they are certainly up to the task as well, Unthink. So we're going to get this first game underway. Remember, guys, this is best of 7. We saw that previous series, what the best of 7 can do for us. We have a chance to potentially see all 7 games out the gate here. Real strong from AJ. He comes out just 13 seconds in and puts FlyQuest on the board.
Didn't even wait for a second there, and Pluto gets the great setup from Prime and a perfect 1-2-3 to play in. You see Laz get stuck in there, and I don't think he expected the third player to roll in. That's a pretty risky play to get everyone in the box this early. But 13 seconds bringing in the challenge. FlyQuest, they're ready to show their stuff. They do come in with a lot of aggression into most of their matchups.
Yeah, and I do like that they played as aggressive as they did right there. I mean, it's early. It's just game 1, so why not take a few chances and see if it pays off? It did there as they get the first goal early. Now here's Ronin for FlyQuest up to AJ. Looks like they're running with Ronin as well, so no Prime Thunder.
Prime Thunder also goes by Ronin a lot of the time. Yeah, it's super sneaky, but he's hiding himself in there. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. See, that's the experience you bring to the table, Unthink. That's why you're here.
And that's it, by the way. That's the only thing I've got tonight. Other than that, there is no insight. So I'm hoping you guys are in for a treat.
I didn't mean to fire your one bullet like that.
Only a minute into the matchup.
Sorry. You were probably waiting for like game 5 or 6 on that. Here is Ronin. Oh, shot coming on. Do I call him Ronin? Do I call him Prime Thunder? I don't know. He was bringing the Thunder there. Nice goal line stop by the defense. Keeps this 1-0. Now here's Laz. He has Aeon up, but Laz going to take that all himself. Aeon just watching, wait and see what Laz will do. He's able to get that field position. But Nomad there just rotates back, looking like he is low on boost, and instead it's going to be a 2-on-1. AJ over to Ronin. can't get there. Prime Thunder with a glorious chance, but another stop on D.
No, and FlyQuest has controlled the midfield. You're watching these rotations come through. They'll play back to center, allow one player to move up the wing, and then they've got a chance to come in for the strike. This has happened twice now, but they're also moving in with a lot of aggression, whereas you would normally see the third player rotate back, either hold the midfield or roll back all the way through into their own defensive zone to prepare for a potential counterplay. They have opted to actually move into midfield rotations, and that's actually working great for them. Pluto! I can't believe that that's the way that one's going to go through, but look at the way this one happens. So Nomad and Aeon are both a little bit overextended at the half, and Pluto just takes a light and lofty one straight over. This is one that Lights Out probably didn't have to give away.
No, not at all. And I think I'm seeing some definite hesitant play from them as they're really wondering where they are right now on the field, how they position themselves in this game to come up against FlyQuest, because it's really been all FlyQuest so far. Zeros all across the board here for Lights Out, as they have had nothing going for them. There's now Aeon. He's going to wait out. AJ gives his team a chance, and he does it all. Aeon right there. That patience pays off as he beats one defender, and just Pluto back can't make the stop.
He goes for the stop here, and it's almost a fake because when Pluto goes for the challenge, he's expecting Aeon to be behind the ball so that when they connect, that 50-50 goes out to the wing. When he's not behind it, Aeon allows that one to continue lofting through. That's a great chance to set himself up for play very close in the box where there is really no repercussions on offense and a whole lot on defense to deal with.
That goal now gets them back within one, and that's absolutely huge for Lights Out, as prior to that goal, they were looking lost, and they give them a little bit of confidence here. Nomad down, but Laz not there. Laz getting removed from the play. That demo from Pluto just gave him a wide open net to shoot at, and he makes no mistake.
Nomad getting the touch on this one was pretty good play, but Laz needed to be in position for that one to count. When he's not in play, then it's a great chance for Pluto to come through, strike a very wide angle to take on the goal there. But FlyQuest, again, they're getting a lot of advantages on offense, and I think it's simply because Lights Out, when they challenge, there's no meaningful movement. Like, they don't have someone they can actually pass it to after they win the play.
Yeah, and we've seen very quick strikes as well coming from FlyQuest, so that means Lights Out have to be responsible on defense. They know they've got to keep the boost and be able to get back, make those saves, even if the ball's all the way downfield. More pressure now coming from FlyQuest up off the back wall. AJ there, but Aeon makes the save. What a save from Aeon. You said it, but still, they don't get the clear, and it is continued pressure here from FlyQuest. 3 goals on the board from them, and they have seen nothing but offense in this entire game. Despite giving up that 1 goal, it has been all FlyQuest. They have another chance here as AJ and Prime Thunder go up. That one's not in, but they continue to press the defense of Lights Out.
They do, and it's really been a ton of pressure for them that's working to their advantage. Another attempt in, another play through. They're going for the second one. It's very similar style, so they're going for some infield pass to where they can get close or rock the backboard. You're not really seeing a whole lot of the play from the wall as much from them, which I think is fine. They're not really forcing the defense out there to meet them either way, and this way they can get a little bit of faster passes together in the mid.
Yeah, and speaking of being faster, I would like to see Lights Out be a little bit faster on these challenges. They're really waiting back, and right now it's a 3-1 lead for FlyQuest. They don't have to play forward. They can just continue to let Lights Out play the ball into them. And you see Lights Out, they have no real urgency in their play. Just 50 seconds to go. They need 2 goals if they're going to get themselves back in this, but they need to move downfield. Nomad clears it down. There's Prime Thunder. Good cut along the wall just to push that right back in the other direction. Nomad cuts it off, but still nothing going here for Lights Out. Just 1 shot on the board for them, and that is the 1 goal that they have. Pluto back to his end, gonna just buy time as AJ does the same. He's just gonna play this all by himself. Nomad gets over in time, but they continue to just tick away these seconds off the clock. I think if the Lights Out team cannot get downfield, this one may be over in game 1. One final chance from them as Laz goes up, but does not get that ball in, and that will do it. 3-1 here for FlyQuest. After they got that lead, they did not look back, and they are winners in game 1.
Yeah, the early aggression definitely wins FlyQuest this matchup. I think there's no question that the full crash into the box early on the first 13 seconds really set the stage for what they were planning to play through here. I mean, we're looking at 11 shots on goal. There's no question that they definitely had the dominance here. Lights Out's only taken home 2. On the other side of the field, though, I got to say, the individual breakout opportunities there from Aeon, where he was trying to carry it up the wing, he'd get a couple extra passes. He really was good on conserving his boost to make sure that he had room for his team. Those were great attempts, and they should have been a little bit more meaningful for them had they been able to formulate that. They needed a little bit more discipline on who was going to go up on offense, who was going to make that actual strike for when the pass came back into center. That's been the difference between Lights Out and FlyQuest in game one, really, is I think it really does come down to a little bit of discipline on who's going to making the proper rotation, because you saw a couple plays where all three of them, Aeon, Nomad, and Laz, all very, very strong mechanical players, but going up for plays that they might not have had the advantage on might be a little bit of communication, but I think it really comes down to if I know my role and where I'm going to be playing up, I might have a better chance at making these a little bit more potential for my team.
Yeah, and that outburst that FlyQuest had in the beginning, that actually matched Lights Out perfectly, because Lights Out came out a little bit hesitant, and when they were playing back in their box like that, that gave FlyQuest the opportunity to just push forward. It's almost like they read that immediately and were able to get that early goal. I remember if it was 13 seconds in, they got that first goal. So never looked back after that. We'll see if Lights Out can start out a little bit better in this game too. You know they're looking to get that early lead, and we'll see what they can do if they can get the lead. Still have played behind in this series. That entire first game, they were behind. So this is game 2, FlyQuest versus Lights Out, to see who will make their way into the finals. Remember, this is best of 7, so we will see at least 4 games in the semifinals, and that was a good stop by Aeon. Aeon getting
twice. Aeon has done a great service to his team on defense over and over again. Really, actually, I want to give a point out to him just because he has been overall, like, mechanically, it's beautiful to watch. He gets at least 3 touches on the ball before he moves forward. He's keeping an eye on his teammates, watching from his camera. He's definitely trying to keep the ball close to play to where he can get a pass into center. I think he's got the right mentality here. So, I mean, even though they didn't win the first game, I think he's got the right idea.
Oh, definitely. And he's a top flight player. I mean, all 6 players on this field are world class, even if they're not quite at that RLCS level. So certainly expect that Aeon can put his team on his back here. And they're coming out strong. That save actually stopped them from going down early. And after that, they've really bounced back. They've had more offensive chances probably in that first minute than they really had all of last game. So another chance here is Nomad into AJ. AJ just over to the side there and does get it past Aeon. There's Laz. Puts the ball down. Prime Thunder just going to wait in the corner. That misplay, though, forces AJ to make something happen. Can Pluto get there? He does. I really love what Pluto brought to the team in that first game. He had 2 of the 3 goals from FlyQuest. So having Pluto on this squad, that's certainly something that's huge for FlyQuest. They don't look at all off despite having someone on their team where they maybe normally do not play with.
No, I really expected Pluto to be probably on the defensive side. That would be the safe move if you're trying out a player. Having said that, I am so glad that they put him where he's at right now, because he's been dominant. Again, we're watching him over and over again. He's got the right passing plays. Look how patient he is. He really is giving it up to his teammates, letting them play forward if they gets the chance. But when he gets the play to move up, he is not shy about it. And that is definitely a trait that you need to have when you have a player who's maybe not as familiar with the roster. Definitely well-serving.
Laz up, AJ there as well. AJ wins that 50-50. Pluto, nice job, connects on that and gets the ball up front. Nomad there. Clears it to the side. Nomad looking for that pass. Aeon right there. They get the ball downfield. It's up the back ball, but Pluto is able to get that, and Ronan with a nice connection there. Both teams looking for each other. You almost see almost no bouncing of the ball. It is contested as soon as it goes down. Oh, AJ along the goal line. Good flick by him. What control by AJ. That is so difficult. He makes it look easy, that control, and I promise you, it is not easy.
No, and they've done a good job on rotations again. Watching through, they have no problem making the passes up. That's a little bit of an overextension from AJ, but no matter. He had plenty of teammates behind him to make the risk. Look at this one now. Again, you're going to watch it through. Pluto always comes close. He's holding, he's batting it out, and then he's going to allow his teammates to play the strike up if they need to. But this buys them also a lot of time to go pick up boost, whereas maybe they wouldn't have potentially had that if the pressure continued staying on from Lights Out.
Oh, and they got to keep up this pressure as well, because we see FlyQuest, they look off right now. If Lights Out can get some shots on the board, AJ weak to the middle, doesn't get it, but neither does Laz. Instead, it's going to be Prime Thunder out, and Aeon there, another big save from him. Aeon, MVP for his team. He gets the clear, and he is everywhere right now.
And that was so close. That pass, and then again, the pass looked like it had so much potential. Prime Thunder is only maybe 1 pixel off from getting that one back into play. And again, the pressure back on from Lights Out. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now because they're not afraid to put the resources up with only a minute left here in this matchup at 0-0, and they're playing as risky as they possibly can because they do need to get something on the board sooner than later. This is going to be their opportunity against a FlyQuest who performed so strong in Game 1. They've got to be able to turn this one back around for the series count.
Yeah, this is the type of game you don't want to lose if you're Lights Out. It's within your grasp. You just got to get that goal, but if you give it up, that's going to be tough. Here's a chance now for Pluto. Can he get it on? No, it's up top. That ball not on net. He had net to shoot at, but doesn't get it on. We remain scoreless. Instead, we're back downfield. Laz is there with Nomad up. Nomad doesn't get it. Neither does Pluto. Instead, it's going to be AJ and Prime Thunder. Both were there. They had a 2-on-1 opportunity, but still no shot on the board. Both teams clogging up midfield, playing extremely well to stop these shots before they happen. Nomad up off the backboard. It's going to waterfall down. Laz is there. Can Aeon get there? No, instead he's just going to play it safe, and that's a wise decision as he gets the ball right back down into FlyQuest's end. We've played almost a full game here, and we remain scoreless. We may go to overtime. There it is, Unthink. Overtime for Game 2, and Lights Out. This has to be right where they want them. You cannot have asked for a better response in Game 2.
When FlyQuest didn't close out that first goal with 30 seconds left, I really didn't see it happening for them, and Lights Out wasn't able to make a completion as well. Overtime makes a lot of sense for this game, but man, oh man, these teams holding on so strong. FlyQuest, you're right, they do seem a little bit slower this match. I'm not sure if that's just, hey, we won the first game, we can take it off a little bit, but they're also giving Lights Out a lot more room to do what they need to do.
Yeah, and it's worth noting the time that the teams had to wait. I'm sure that they both had some momentum coming into the semifinals, and they had a little bit of time that they had to wait. So this could be Lights Out, needed to get warmed up. They have another chance on here. They've had so many chances in this game. That's 7 shots on the board. Remember, they just had 2 shots in that previous game. So this has been a fantastic bounce back effort from them. They continue to press as Nomad is off the back wall. Aeon, as he gets taken out of the play, still keeps this ball downfield. Nomad gets in the way of AJ, and Aeon with the 50-50 win against Pluto. Loving how Lights Out are playing. You can see as soon as one player gets to the ball, you have another member of their team ready and watching, seeing how they're going to make a play, how they're going to make something happen.
The one correction I think we saw out of Lights Out that's looking real promising right now is, that was close, is their challenges have been on point this time because they actually have a second player up to collect anything that comes off of that. That's so important when we're talking about this extreme pressure that FlyQuest was putting on in Game 1 and how to combat that, because now they're getting a lot more chances on goal. We've seen so many from Lights Out. They only had 2 shots on goal last game. They've got 9 right now moving into overtime.
Oh, man, that is just another great save. Pluto able to keep this in overtime, but it has been all Lights Out. They need one here. This would be back-breaking for them if they don't get this goal, especially after they have played so well. Ronin up. Aeon, though, gets that and goes up off the ceiling. Laz right there, pre-jump, and gets the read. They keep this ball alive, giving the defense of FlyQuest fits as FlyQuest did not get the ball past midfield. Aeon right back in with a nice flick. There is Prime Thunder. He makes the save, but he needs some help here. Pluto able to give it to him, but the pressure remains. Aeon gets it there.
Oh!
Pluto
No way! That
Unreal.
is... It's not done yet, though. They're still holding on. Laz is trying to play this one back into the box, but Lights Out deserved it in every way except for how strong FlyQuest was able to hold on. They really have been very defensively minded, and now their chance for the counterplay comes in. They've only got 1 back, though. AJ's missing on the play for this one, and it could be a good stop here again. FlyQuest, I'm on the seat of my pants, Sam.
Oh, this is something. I have to say the addition of Pluto here really working out. Pluto only has 2 saves, but both coming in overtime and keeping his team from going down in this game. Just huge saves on the goal line from him. More pressure here. There is Pluto, though. He's got AJ up as well. Aeon, that's a weak hit. He's going to need some help, and he does get it from Laz. Heads up play from Laz because Aeon was in a bad position. Pluto out. Laz into the corner. Pluto gets a nice chip there to get a piece of it. But the defense of FlyQuest continuing to be put to the test. Oh, look at that play from Prime Thunder. Just when you thought he may lose control of that, instead the ball is downfield. Great play by him.
The miss off the backboard, though, was a bit of a mistake on that one. It was very close again to going in. They've had plenty of setups at this point, both sides, but the completions on defense are so strong. We're just watching a clear after clear, very successful movement. You're actually watching two people get back on defense at this point. Very conservative rotations for this style of play. And now with that, and then it speaks to the 4 minutes of overtime we're watching right now. And another play. Ooh, was that a reverse demo from Laz?
Oh man, that was nice. He took him out, but honestly, if I'm lights out right now, I think the one thing they really have to watch out for is that transition play. You see this so often in overtime where one team is just dominating the pitch, but it could easily be a transition goal that gets FlyQuest on the board. So lights out have to be aware of that. But honestly, they have played so well in this game. Despite not scoring, they have 10 shots on the board, and they continue to press. Aeon has time just to wait on that. Doesn't win it against AJ, though. Instead, it's going back on Laz. Laz, despite having time, needs some help, and a really nice play from Nomad. They are getting really creative on these clears, whereas sometimes these hits might be to the center of the field, but they have a teammate there so often to bail them out.
And you know what? That is so key, having that support role playing there. And especially when we're talking about playing along the wing, where you have a situation just like this one coming out, where you've got multiple players out there, you've got to make sure that whatever comes off of those challenges is in your possession. Because the second you lose that, you've got to make the split-second decision of, are we going to challenge again, or are we going to move back onto the rotation? We're 5 minutes deep, Sam. We're only into game 2. I got to tell you, this is definitely throwing off the schedule just a pinch. But man, oh man, these teams, look at that. Nomad, Aeon, That's it! That's it. Waits for it for the last second, watching the play come through here from FlyQuest. Pluto gets a little bit of a misread here on the recovery, and then back in, Nomad rolling it straight through to Aeon. Wow, that has been a long time in the making. 8 shots on goal, Sam, and they take home the one that counts.
I said we'd get at least 4 games, but we pretty much are getting at least 5 right now, as that took over 5 minutes of overtime to decide that in what was just a 1-0 game. Lights out, playing lights out. They get the shutout there, and really, they just played dominant. Now, 11 shots on the board compared to that 2 in the previous game. So you talk about team making adjustments. They made the adjustments right there to be dominant. That could have easily been 4 or 5 goals in their favor. I mean, look at the shots look at the saves for FlyQuest.
It really is crazy. And you know what? You talked about Pluto's being so critical, but I think all 3 of those players being back there just over and over being forced onto the line. This was a very different lights out than what we saw out of game 1. We got so much more aggression. The shots on target. There was a lot of 2-man up, which was really beneficial to them, because previously we've really only been seeing them work on like a breakaway opportunity, and it really didn't mean a whole lot for them, and that's why they had such a limited number of shots on goal. The second they start introducing passing, they get a lot more aggressive, they're in your face. That's the kind of stuff you want to lead FlyQuest into, because the second you can dive them into a mistake, that's where you're going to start having the advantage.
Yeah, and a lot of the play, I think, in my mind, was in that midfield area in game 2. The way that lights out clogged the mid and did not give FlyQuest some of that time. It seemed like to me FlyQuest was waiting around a little bit in game 1, kind of waiting for the ball to come to them. And when you do that, you give the defense time to set up, whether it's a clear downfield, whether it's a shot. The more time that you take to do those things is the more time that the defense gets to think about what they're doing. And we definitely saw lights out play a little bit quicker in game 2, and it made all the difference. I mean, that was a stark contrast to game 1, where it looked like they couldn't get anything going in game 1. And honestly, game 2 was really entirely in their favor. So we'll see. Now it's going to be up to FlyQuest to make those adjustments. Do we see them get even faster, or do they kind of slow it down to try and mind game lights out a little bit? We'll see. I think if that second game was any indication, this series could easily go 7 games.
It's probably going to go pretty dang close if it doesn't either way, just because of the way Lights Out is starting to perform now, right? The second they get on the momentum train, we are in for quite the story. I gotta say though, FlyQuest, we've watched them again and again when they're in this kind of situation. They do get a bit more aggressive. They do get faster. They do work their way into the unpredictable play style of going for the ball that maybe wasn't exactly ideal for them, but they know that they can take advantage just based on mechanical skill alone. This is something we see them play into over and over again. I can certainly see them doing it again.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're world class, and they're riding high right now after their performance in the rival series, their performance in the promotional playoffs. They know they want to get to the finals. They want to face G2. That would be a incredible test for them as they move into next season. I mean, if they could take down G2 in this tournament, can you imagine how they would feel going into the RLCS? So I fully expect that FlyQuest are going to come out strong, and that's something that Lights Out did in that second game. They stopped that initial attack from FlyQuest. So we will see if they're able to do that in game number 3, because FlyQuest are going to come out flying. You know that.
Ooh, flying.
Oh.
I like that a lot. Haha, gotcha again. So this really, I think this comes down to the early game for both of these teams right now. I know we just watched a game where they went 0-0 all the way through regulation. But something I'd like to see out of Lights Out very quickly is to play the way that we saw FlyQuest play out of game 1, and to get as aggressive as possible so that they can start making a meaningful impact early into the game and not play from behind. They do play very well when they're on the tie situation. Being ahead is going to give them a lot more room, where if you give FlyQuest the chance, they're going to take the opportunity, they're going to run with it.
Yeah, definitely. We saw them play extremely well when they had the lead. Really, both teams play really, really good when they do have that lead. So that first goal, you know, that will prove important. Both teams scoring the first goal have won these first 2 games. We are into game 3. Here's now Ronan, a.k.a. Prime Thunder, confusing us all. He takes the ball upfield into the corner. He's got AJ there as well. AJ doesn't win that 50-50, but Pluto's up. Gonna get a nice hard shot. That was on goal, forcing Laz to make a save. And another one coming there from Ronan. A couple of nice shots coming out of the corner here for FlyQuest, and that's really big. Put shots on the board early. See if you can get a goal early. But speaking of shots, speaking of early goals, it is not FlyQuest. Instead, it's Lights Out. They're up 1-0.
This was a great pass from Nomad off the backboard, and Pluto rolls across. The second you roll across the goal like that, you lose a lot of chance for recovery, and you're really hoping that the momentum that you have is going in the direction of the ball. But overall, that was the right move for Laz, because he has a lot of time to work that one through, and a good pass and set up in a counter direct off of the play here. Prime Thunder, take a look at this one. When he plays it right off of the face-off, there's no answer from Aeon. He goes for the flip in the air. He had the boost, but he doesn't have the trajectory, and that is a very quick answer.
Yeah, that whiff immediately turned that into a 2-on-1, which was not good. Obviously, anytime you've got that odd man situation, it's going to be extremely tough on the defender. It took us nearly 10 minutes to get 1 goal last game, and now with just a minute, we've got 2 goals. This could be a shootout. Both teams figuring things out about each other. You know, they're very familiar. These teams have certainly played each other in the past, and they have that familiarity. And really, teams at this level will continue to learn as they get further and further into a series. You see that now, Nomad. Ball taken by Pluto, and Ronan is there. Doesn't get the shot, and AJ just going to wait back instead. Cuts around and keeps this play alive. Not long enough as Ronan is up. Laz with the whip, but Aeon into the corner. It's interesting, that first minute we thought, are we going to see a ton of goals, and now it's kind of calmed down a little bit in the next minute. Laz looking for Nomad. Nomad there. Can he make the play? AJ with a nice stop. Quick shot from Nomad, the one-on-one effort, but another save there. Low shooting affair here, despite the quick early goals on Think. We've seen a lot of midfield play and not nearly as many shots as we saw in the previous game.
No, there's been great defensive awareness from AJ. Oh, the shot for the 90. AJ's had great defensive awareness. I think he's been holding on to a lot of the play back there for FlyQuest. You've seen chances, though, from Lights Out, but they're coming in a little bit slower. Gives them some time, but even the ones that are coming in quite quickly, the rotations have been very crisp, coming in from both sides right now. I think that as we enter the half, we're going to start seeing a little bit of that pressure increase. But so far, you are watch FlyQuest come in. They see the chance for a transition. They hold close to the 18, but none of the players are committing inside that box because they don't want to crash just yet when they just played such a close matchup in Game 2.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because remember, that first goal of the entire series was from crashing just like that. But the smart play pays off. Pluto, third man back, just going to wait around, and AJ and Ronan get it done.
The rotation from Laz looked appropriate. He was going for the challenge against Prime Thunder. If he'd gotten that, there would have been no worries. Out to the wall it goes. But missing that play pushes the ball directly in, and a great chance for FlyQuest to turn in and counter. 2-1. They waited till the last second to move into the box and actually make that commit. That was the right play, though, because they've been so patient waiting for that. It gives Lights Out a little bit too much confidence to where they think they can make the quick clear, speed the ball, and play into the counter, and that's exactly where FlyQuest wanted them.
Yeah, now we'll see how they play with the lead. They've done so well when having the lead. That first game was a dominant effort by FlyQuest, and they are in a familiar position here, being on top. Can they hang on to this 2-1 lead? Not if Aeon has anything to do with it. He gets the shot on, takes both AJ and Pluto to make that save. 2 saves coming there, and they maintain this 1-goal lead. Prime Thunder over into the corner, though. That's not as hard as he wanted. Instead, it's going to be Nomad and Aeon. They get cheeky as they work this ball down low. Force Pluto into the corner. Now with both Laz and Nomad there. Laz going to take the turn, and AJ, great read right there. Can he hit Ronan in the center? He's got him. Looking for that pass. Doesn't get it, but the pressure remains. FlyQuest down within the minute mark. All they have to do is stay on this side of the field, and they will take this game. Aeon, no clear there. Instead, it's going to be Prime Thunder. That's out into the center, whiff after whiff from both teams. As the ball bounces, it ends up being a one-on-one situation. It's Prime Thunder with 1 defender back. He makes no mistake. Nomad can't make the save.
No, Nomad got stuck on his side wheel here trying to make the turn, and Prime Thunder just had way too much speed. The second he can make a roll on the play, that was an easy move directly around the defender. When you're in a 1v1 like that, you want your momentum moving forward against the player. You have a better chance at making the connection and the challenge. When you're rolling on the side like that, you've got a lot less control, even though you've got a bigger hitbox for the offender to worry about.
Yeah, that's a tough spot. Hard to be in that one-on-one situation, especially with players as good as every player on the field is. 3-1 now for FlyQuest. This is going to be tough. This is a very similar situation for Lights Out as they were trying to come back in game 1 despite being down. They've still only scored 1 goal in each of these games, which I think is definitely worth noting. They're going to need more than 1 goal if they are going to take down FlyQuest. They need at least 2 more here, but the time is running out. As the ball drops down, this will be another 3-1 win here for FlyQuest as they get themselves back on top in the series, 2-1, and we go back and forth, looking like we are ready for this potential of a Game 7 as FlyQuest now have responded to the win by Lights Out.
It looked promising for Lights Out when we started seeing more shots on goal, but the second FlyQuest got ahead around the half, I think that was really where we started seeing the road, I guess, for them as they started moving faster and faster. Really, overall, I felt like their passing play was exactly what they needed. FlyQuest really just continually batting them forward. AJ had a ton of touches right on the blue zone where really no defender was pushing into him or challenging him. And when they had that happen, it was really just, it was pretty simple. Just they had a matter of setting something up for themselves.
Yeah, and that scoreline that you see right there very much plays into how FlyQuest usually does. I know they have Pluto and they don't have Wonder, but Prime Thunder is very often the man leading the charge for them, getting goals on the board. So the 2 goals from him leading his team, certainly not a surprise. And for Lights Out, they did a little bit better still, but they've got to get more than 1 goal. They're not going to continue to win games 1-0. I think they're very fortunate probably to win that second game, only requiring the 1 goal to do so. But they got to put goals on the board. They cannot continue to just average 1 goal a game if they're going to take down FlyQuest. And FlyQuest have got to be feeling pretty good after they've gotten themselves back on top in the series. Now, game 4, Unthink, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think? We got 2 of these kind of bubble teams here. Who's going up against G2?
I still feel like FlyQuest has the advantage coming into this one. I'll say it this way, Lights Out, when we talked about them even before the rival series play-ins, was on a lot of people's list as a team that could potentially make it through this season. They have that potential. But FlyQuest has proven themselves now. They've already moved their way through, and I feel like that they show that level of, again, discipline and really being able to challenge the standard way of play. That's something that is so important to these teams. Now, Lights Out could surprise us, but I think I've still got FlyQuest holding on if the way things go the way they're going right now.
All right, that means I'm taking Lights Out. They've been playing in rival tournaments for quite a while. I have no problem taking Lights Out. I think they even follow me on Twitter, so they pretty much bought my vote with that one.
That's good. That's the good kind of follow votes that we need.
Oh, definitely. Follow me on Twitter and you'll win in the tournament. That's not guaranteed, but do it anyway. Aeon out. Laz up, gets it there. Ronan back. Can he get the ball? He does. Carry that in the corner. Nice carry there by Prime Thunder. And he's at AJ in the center. Good pass by him. Just kicks it right back down. Pluto going to keep this in the box. There is Prime Thunder, but he can't get the angle. Not enough time to let that ball drop below the crossbar. Good job by Aeon to make the clear. I got to tell you, I have been extremely impressed with Aeon so far in this series. I think it seems like almost all good things are coming through Aeon, but unfortunately Aeon in the corner, not back on defense. Maybe he needed to be on the goal line. This guy can't do it all.
So Laz rotated in from the midfield, and he looked like he was going to have to be back for this one. Pluto is way ahead of the play at this point. Aeon did have a little bit of responsibility in the corner, but overall that comes down to great control from FlyQuest.
Yeah, they've showed the continued control as they get on top, and that's not good. The team that scored first has continued to win every game here, so this goal from FlyQuest, huge for them. Now the open net down to the other side. That's not on, though. Can Aeon get it? No, Pluto with a save, but Laz cleans it up. The rebound there for the taking, and Laz ties the game up.
He sees this all the way. Like, the fact that he could see this play coming from the midfield, again, is very impressive. Laz sees the chance. When he sees that challenge coming through from his teammate, he's like, all right, there's going to be something I have to clean up here. And instead of rotating back on defense, goes in for the risky move. Definitely the right play.
Yeah, they are looking for more as Nomad is there. Both Laz and Aeon going to wait back. Patient play. Looking for the clear, but that's just going to get fed right out to Pluto. But Pluto does kick it right into Laz, and instead it's Aeon and Laz moving upfield. We go back and forth in this game. These two teams continue to duke it out. We've got another tie game. Such a close series between these two squads. Aeon waits, gets the chip, needs some help. Gonna leave that one for Laz, and Laz with the second opportunity does get it past Pluto and the third chance, but he can't beat Prime Thunder. Oh, look at this overextension. Can Pluto get it there? He cannot. No chance for that redirect. Interesting, the overextension that we're seeing from Lights Out. That's been a couple of times that they have all three players upfield, but FlyQuest not able to take advantage.
You know, and they were both players waiting for the pass were almost like statues there. It gave a good chance for FlyQuest to quickly adjust to the situation without really having to give up a lot of boost. That was a bit of a mistake from them. They are overextending a little bit. I understand where they're coming from, because they cannot give up situations like this where they see FlyQuest take along the wing and then charge into the center. When they get the chance to make the passing plays and control the possession here, it's a lot more comfort for them, and that's exactly what Lights Out need in a situation like this. They need to be able to play when they're comfortable, because when they're in a situation where, for example, FlyQuest is in challenging them, constantly pressuring them, keeping it right in their face, that's not the Lights Out that's able to really perform in this matchup.
No, and you see that right now. FlyQuest pressing the defense of Lights Out. Lights Out cannot buy a clear. Not able to get it past center. Laz, another weak shot there. Pluto going to come in. Wins that 50-50 and wins another one against Nomad. AJ and Ronan both there, just continuing this patient play, which is leading to this onslaught. We need a hard clear from Lights Out, but they continue to just put the ball weak into the center, and that means more and more shots coming from FlyQuest. Here's Ronan yet again. Pluto in the center. Weak hit from Nomad means another passing play into the center. AJ, though, no shot, but continued pressure. This has been several minutes of play now, it seems, that FlyQuest have been down in the Lights Out zone. They have done everything but get a goal here. Lights Out again, trying to get the clear. Finally, they get it from Nomad, and that's a play upfield. Can you believe it? They've played so long on defense, but all it takes is one quick transition, and Nomad made that happen.
Prime's hang time in the air there, trying to make the stop, was critical. They had to get that, and when he doesn't go for the challenge, it is a full force push from Lights Out. They see the opening, and they were like, all right, guys, this is our chance to make this happen, and the commit was real. Now, 2-1, 40 seconds, and FlyQuest, they've got to pick it up. They've been slow on this matchup. We're talking about, AJ and Prime Thunder, two of the highest scorers in all of the rival series. They're matching up with Pluto now, so they've had to change their style a little bit, but they still should be able to put up a lot more than what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think if this is a situation where if they lose this game, we could definitely see Lights Out making their way into the finals, because honestly, both of these games have been winnable for FlyQuest, but Lights Out have done what they needed to do to put themselves on top. We are down under 10 seconds to go. Can this FlyQuest squad get downfield. Laz bounces into the ground. Perfect play by him. Love that he killed that ball, did not pop it into the air, and it's lights out. They win the game here now to get the series tied up. We go back and forth, Unthink, 2-2 into game 5.
And you know what, FlyQuest, I honestly feel like there were so many chances that they had that they really could have committed to. They were a little bit more timid to the ball. They were giving individual players a lot more chance to try to make the strike and get a second touch up against the defenders, which can be promising. And I understand the idea behind that is to give your team a little bit more room. That way you have the spacing out to the side. You're not running the risk of having an overextension. But when you get into a situation where the other team has continually batted them forward, they're going in for big strikes, they really didn't take a lot of shots on goal. You should be able to take advantage of those opportunities a little bit more. They had the pressure, they just didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, and they needed some shots on goal that would force better saves coming from lights out, because we did not see a whole lot of high-quality chances coming from FlyQuest, which meant the weak clears from lights out, even though they weren't that great, they continued to work for them as they just staved off that pressure, and were finally able to break through. And we are back where we started. Tie series. Both teams have won 2 games, and we have traded off wins. One good thing, though, for lights out is they break that first goal winning trend, as they did not get the first goal in that game, but they did take the win. Pluto shot on, Laz with the save. There's Prime Thunder. He's up with Nomad there as well. Safely puts that into the corner. AJ, nice hard shot up top. Doesn't get it. Neither can Prime Thunder. Glorious chance for them. That's very similar to what we were saying. If that shot is on net, it's in. And instead, I was going to say it's a goal, but it's not.
That was so risky, too, because the challenge up to the air there from AJ, he did not have a shot at actually getting that. Aeon was way ahead of him. Shouldn't have challenged, and as a result, they almost actually get countered on. A little bit lucky, but I also say that it was a very quick rotation from Prime Thunder.
Yeah, very, very close on both of these teams to getting the first goal. Instead, we are scoreless as the ball bounces precariously through the box. Prime Thunder gets the clear, and he's going to follow up all by himself there. He beats 2 players to get a chance as AJ comes through, forces it into the defense. Even though that shot is not on, that still continues to press this defense of lights out. They've done a very good job. I'm surprised to see a team not get scored on despite playing so far and so much in their zone. Lights out so extremely good about playing like that and getting the transition plays like that. They really throw off FlyQuest. I'm surprised that FlyQuest are continuing to give up these chances as lights out move downfield.
I think, oh, that's it. Oh, is it almost there? Yeah, look at that. Wow, that would have either been the coolest save or an incredible finish, and looks like we got what we got. But 1-0, holding on. AJ squeaks in for that one. Nomad was so close to actually getting the play out. I was just about to compliment lights out on their positioning, because it has gotten considerably better throughout the entire series. They really are giving their teammates a lot of space, and that sets them up for some great passing chances. But at the same time, FlyQuest, when they move in for a play like that, the all-call charge, they don't give up at all. And that was a great chance for them to come in and sink something finally across the line. They've been trying so hard to make that happen, and we are just now nearing the half, and it's still only 1-0, which is pretty unbelievable, again, considering how aggressive FlyQuest comes into these kind of matches. It just shows how strong Lights Out has been holding off as much as they have at this point.
Yeah, especially on defense, and Aeon was there yet again, just needed a little bit of help from his team. He's been the MVP for his squad, but now pressure here continuing for FlyQuest. That's an open net for Pluto. Doesn't take the shot, instead going to go for the cheeky dribble. Maybe questionable there, as he could have put a hard shot on. Instead, looks for the carry play. Now the ball's downfield. Nomad, can he get up off that back wall? Oh, there's Prime Thunder. Just enough of that to kick it over into the corner. AJ into the air. He's got Prime Thunder up. Can Nomad get back? He doesn't, but that ball hits the post. Post and crossbar. No love for FlyQuest. Bailing out Lights Out.
That was so Prime Thunder, mere pixels away from making that one happen. I was watching from his cam. I got to tell you, he's got to be shaking his fist. But they're holding on still. They've got a lot of this pressure from the midfield, and watching the rotations come in, it's at this point, it's only every third time that we're actually seeing them go through for the full back boost. Instead, you're seeing a lot of them picking up those small dime boosts, playing in the center, and giving themselves more opportunities to play up because they want that 2-point cushion. Something that they realized against Lights Out now, they really can't play close as they have been. They really do want to start spreading these games out, and when they can do that, they're going to have a lot more chance to keep into this with more confidence.
Yeah, no doubt. The close games have gone to lights out, and when FlyQuest have been able to pull away, we've seen them really take the lead and not look back at that point. So that second goal cushion would be huge. Next goal going to be super important to this series. Both teams trying to get that commanding 3-2 lead in the series. Right now it's FlyQuest, and it is AJ. Can he get it on? He does.
No.
All by himself.
What?
It's AJ. Takes the ball all the way through and gets the redirect right into the corner, jams it in.
The best part is where he never touches the ground and is able to completely turn his card. The hitbox is in the right position so that he can get the redirect set up. It looked like it was supposed to be a pass across the line. AJ goes ahead and takes the goal, too.
Hey, why not? He's there, you know. Let's go ahead and
why not?
Just finish it off.
When in Rome.
And there it is. Oh! Oh, man, Laz, that is huge for him. They can't go down 3, not now. Laz with another save. Gives his team a chance, but they need a goal, and they need it quick. Laz has Nomad in the center. Can Nomad get it?
No way. No way.
Goal. Laz makes a couple of saves downfield and then has Nomad in the center. Look at that pass. Perfect play to beat both defenders.
AJ is so close to that. He can taste it in the great play. Literally, Laz drops it out of his pocket and hands it right over to Nomad. That is the kind of team chemistry that you love to see. Incredible chances now from Lights Out. They can pull themselves back into this one. These are the kind of plays that you want to put on your highlight reel.
They may have a chance, but they need another one here. Just 15 seconds to go. AJ to the center. Laz beats him, but here comes Prime Thunder. Great patient play. He puts it off of the side wall, but a great win from Nomad with a demo from Aeon gives them a chance. Can he get it? Oh, there it is!
No way!
Aeon, 1 second to go, and it is 2-2. A whole nother game. Aeon, the MVP for his team, continues his work.
It's the small things. It's the Laz bump into Pluto to block him out from getting the rotation across the line. And it's Aeon coming across and getting the perfect touch. 1 second left in regulation, and we're going to overtime 2-2 to break the 2-2 series tie in a best-of-7. These teams bringing everything to the Spring Open.
Yeah, FlyQuest, they thought they were going to flip that switch, but no, Lights Out. They keep the lights on. We are in overtime 2-2. What a bounce back from Lights Out. Looked for sure like FlyQuest would get that lead, but instead it's now Lights Out. They're pushing downfield. Great bump by Pluto. Stops that play from Laz before it happens. Nomad into the air. He has Laz into the center looking for him. Can't get it. But Pluto going to play the safe play. Not a ton of boost as he has to wait back. Good job to kill that play. And AJ's along the wall. Nomad waiting in the corner. Going to corral that. Flips it over, but Pluto reads it. We've got corner play here as the ball is all the way downfield. AJ, not much with that, though. Nomad looking to the center, but there's Prime Thunder. He's got AJ upfield. They're going to move upfield. This is dangerous for Lights Out. Oh, but the play doesn't happen. Oh, man, that was a chance for...
Oh, no! Nomad! Oh, no! Oh, that it was... Okay, so AJ misses the second touch on this one. This should have slowed the play. Pluto winning against Aeon, though, changes the dynamic of this again. Nomad going for the play off the wall. He wanted to hit it off of the crossbar. His goal was to get it out because then he can play out along the wing just outside the box and hopefully get scooped up by a teammate. Might have not needed to touch it, though. But the play comes so quickly, and it's so confusing because so many different variables occurred that probably shouldn't have based on what standard play would it allow. Changed everything. The entire chemistry of the field changes, and FlyQuest pulls it out in overtime, and they're going to go 3-2 here for the series. I'm speechless. I can't believe that's how that played through.
That is absolutely heartbreaking for Lights Out. Honestly, they played so well to get themselves into that overtime, and to give it up, not just to lose, but to give it up like they did. That's huge. They have to hit the reset button right now. They have to forget about what happened. And I agree with you. That play really broke down. I think it was a great chance for FlyQuest that was completely unrealized, and I think that alone threw off Lights Out because they were scrambling in the box to try and make something happen. Can't believe that it's an own goal that does it, but now FlyQuest just 1 win away from meeting G2 in the finals.
This is unbelievable. Lights Out. It is time to show if you can hold on here for a Game 7, which would be incredible. Nomad is following up behind. Oh, we're already going to have a physical play. I can tell it's going to be a fun game, Sam. Oh, man. And here it is. Here we are. Prime Thunder takes an advantage off of this one, so Nomad went in for the challenge, and when Prime gets a light touch off of this play, AJ can set him up for a fantastic pass to turn and completely counter. If Nomad had won that physical play, they probably would have had a good chance to take a shot of their own. And instead, FlyQuest full advantage.
Yeah, and you saw actually both Nomad and Laz, they were kind of thinking the same thing. They both turned upfield to try and get that challenge when really one guy needed to stay back. So some quick miscommunication for Lights Out means the first goal goes to FlyQuest, and that's not good as FlyQuest just need to stay on top. If they can hold on to this lead, they will go into the finals. This is best of 7, and they have 3 wins under their belt, needing just one more. But Lights Out, they've got 4 minutes to get some goals on the board. They're not ready to go home. But the demo there from Pluto going to leave that net wide open. Can Laz clear it down? He does. Pluto, good job up off the backboard. And AJ there as well, but Pluto not able to get a piece of that. Laz just in time. But look at how aggressive Lights Out are playing. I enjoy the fact that they're not turtling up, but at this point, it's just 1-0. I don't know if they need to play as aggressive as they are.
Laz is all over them. Like, if you're watching, most of this aggression is actually coming out as Laz just being a good defender and continually challenging. He'll get a couple touches in the air. I guess the problem is that he doesn't have anyone really to pass to off of those, but just slowing down FlyQuest enough gives his team enough time to get into position, which is something that they have been working at in this series.
Yeah, there is Laz now with a chance out to the center. He's got both Nomad and Aeon. Nothing doing there is instead the ball's downfield. Can Prime Thunder get there? He does not. Nomad up. He beats Pluto. That means it's a 2-on-1, but not enough boost or speed to get there. Oh, but he does. Nomad takes out AJ, and another demo coming from Pluto as we see physical play all over the field. Here's now Aeon looking for that underflip. Can't get the scoop, but nice attempt from him. 3 minutes, still plenty of time for Lights Out to get themselves a goal here. AJ, no teammate there to the center. Instead, it's going to be Aeon all the way downfield. Pluto needs some help from Prime Thunder. Doesn't get it. Instead, it's going to be Pluto yet again. Hit out to center. That's a hard clear, but no support. And instead, it's another play. We see a lot of plays coming from Lights Out as the clears from FlyQuest just not there. But no shots to really come of it. Just one shot on the board from Lights Out. They've got to take advantage of these situations.
Oh, another chance again. I feel like they're taking advantage of some of these, but at the same time, the play has sped up so much that I feel like after 2 touches, everything is just a gift, right? You've really got to have something happen in the first 2, just like we just saw AJ play. Because the second you get that one off, your team is going to be right there waiting, or a challenger is going to be right in your face.
Oh, Nomad 2-on-1. Can he get it? No pass out. Had a couple of players out in front, but cannot connect on that pass. Here's Aeon yet again. Looks to the center. Nomad's there. They've got a chance. Here's Aeon. But AJ with the save on Aeon keeps this a 1-0 game. They're looking for the center for the pass. I really like how Lights Out are trying these plays. Looking for the...
Whoa!
To the center, and there it is.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Ronan had made that save, but the bounce does not go in his favor.
Laz gets a great touch on this one, and actually, Prime Thunder had the clear. AJ doesn't see that he's actually going to get it, and there is a chance if you're playing off the wall like that the recovery won't come through, and you won't get the trajectory you're hoping for. So AJ's strategy is to hopefully stop the ball as it rolls across, and then maybe play it through. But as a result of both of them going for that, of course we get a great goal. And Laz, setting all that up, he gets to watch all of it play, just a master of puppets over there.
Yeah, Laz watching the play here. He's the third man coming in. Plays along the corner, has Aeon there. This is where Lights Out is strong. They're back within a tie game, and they play really, really well once they've bounced back. Even though they didn't win that previous game, we saw some fight from them, and we see it here. AJ, though, has Pluto forward. Good job by Nomad just to cut through the center and get that steal. Stops that play from happening. Ronan, not there. Aeon, good pass received from Laz. Continually Lights Out, looking to the center of the field, and that is huge for them. But it doesn't matter. Man, I got to say, FlyQuest, they had it here. They had everything going in their favor, but it's just one quick play downfield.
Aeon really needed to get that clear on that one. It was tough. And you saw when he went for the actual air roll that he should have gotten the connection. He goes just a second early, and the pass is complete. It's good on FlyQuest to make sure that they get the completion on those and don't just make the assumption that the defender is going to get the clear out on that, because they get a lot more chance, especially when they've already got 2 players out. Interesting play indeed from Laz here on this one. I'm not sure what the anticipated play was originally, but Aeon sets it up for Laz, and the play comes through. Pluto should be able to get the stop on this. This is 2 instances now from both sides where the defender goes in for the play. They're just close to getting it on the nose, but they can't get the touch off the ceiling that they're hoping for to make it happen. And then, of course, those plays just fall right on through, because these players being so accurate and so precise, they don't make mistakes, and you've got to make sure that you're coming in and making the stop on those.
Yeah, and that's a tough shot, too. I mean, Laz put some power on that. Oh, Pluto goal line save. Keeps it a tie game. That's absolutely massive now for FlyQuest. But yeah, Laz, that shot coming all the way from his end, he had some real power on that, and that's going to be a tough save no matter who you are. We've seen another bounce back from Lights Out, but will they give it up? No, not yet. Laz clears to the side. They're not ready to go home yet, and we see another overtime. So many overtimes in this series between these two squads. They are battling it out, and this is the last chance potentially for Lights Out. They cannot give up a goal here or they will go home. But if they do score, that will mean Game 7. Here's now Laz. Pluto and Ronan both up for that. Pluto can't get it forward, but Ronan does. See Pluto playing very aggressive, waiting up, looking for that pass. Doesn't get it, but the play still is in FlyQuest's favor. There it is in the corner. Aeon, oh, that bounce is going to come right out in center. Not what he wanted, thankfully for him. Nomad able there to bail him out.
Pluto's a good touch up. Oh, that's a bit of a miscommunication there from Prime Thunder, and now they've got the setup. Aeon's in. He's been the answer. He really has been the fulcrum to a lot of these plays, just being at the center of the motion when they get that momentum forward. Aeon's been the one to position those into play. When we're talking about the individual, I've seen a lot of great stuff out of Laz where he just gets so aggressive and pushes those forward into places the defense isn't ready for. Right now, Lights Out, when they're in this overtime mode, this is where we want to see them, when they just get it absolutely in their face. That's where we need them to be.
Yeah, and they continue to do that right now. They're so good when they're playing well on offense and pressing the defense. We've seen Lights Out look like almost 2 different teams in this series, because once they get into these tie or lead situations, they play so well, so much pressure. Here's some more here coming as Nomad's up. There's Prime Thunder, makes the save and kicks it right back out to himself. He's going to flick it over, but no. Instead, AJ elects to just rotate back. The safe play coming from FlyQuest. They don't want to give up this goal. They don't want to let this get to Game 7, because it will be anyone's game at that point. Aeon
AJ's going to get the advantage. Oh, interesting. Wow. This has become quite the matchup so far. Lights Out holding on for dear life on defense here from a couple of these attempts from FlyQuest. But when they get into position, though, they're looking real dangerous themselves. Really, both sides, the rotations are a bit lacking, and they really got to speed those up.
Yeah, they're playing hesitant. You can see both sides are playing hesitant. Neither team wants to have that overextension lead to a goal. So you're seeing one teammate up. Oh man! And the ball's back downfield. That's not on though. Oh, glorious chance for FlyQuest. This is looking like another long overtime like we saw in Game 2. Will it go to Lights Out like that game did, or will they get it? No. Oh, Prime Thunder! I don't know if
cheeky.
he meant to bicycle like that, but it almost worked out.
Oh, he was going for the fake for days, viewers. And man, holy cow, there it is. Another one, Prime.
Oh,
He's so close. They're forcing the hand on Lights Out defense right now. They have to force themselves to get out, but they also have to go pick up boosts from the corners to hold onto that long enough, and that puts them into really uncomfortable positions on defense, because they want to be able to play to the center of the field where they can start playing a bit more aggressive. And again, it happens over and over. We're 3 minutes deep into overtime, and neither team looking particularly advantageous. It's just a matter of possession time at this point, only being slightly in favor for FlyQuest.
Yeah, and it very well could come to a quick goal downfield, as both teams are playing really well. We're seeing chances on both sides of the field. Loving right now actually what Prime Thunder is doing for this FlyQuest squad as well. He's thinking offense. Thinking defense there, though, as he gets it up off the back wall, gets another shot there, and up off the ceiling. Can he get the flick? He does not get that under flip, but almost gets the clear. Instead, it's going to be back down. Laz, corner. That bounce, not what he wanted, though. Ronan and AJ both against Aeon. Whiff by Nomad, but the ball just bounces through the box. They dodged a bullet there.
Oh, that was an interesting stop there from Pluto. Puts him in a dangerous spot. Good stop by Prime. The play is back in. Nomad's got a chance. Laz is right behind him. Pluto's got to make a clear on this one if he gets close. Here he goes up for it. That's a good touch again. We've got a couple where it feels like FlyQuest, they're running. They're really running hot right now. It's so close. Prime makes another challenge. Several challenges at this point, going completely goalless still in overtime. And here it is for Laz. I can't believe it. The play around Pluto was so suave. And Sam, we're going to Game 7.
Yeah, and it was that transition goal. Pluto is going to want that one back. If they lose this series, he will be thinking about that goal because he had plenty of time. You could tell he was trying just to cut into it and stop the momentum of the ball. Instead, got that angle a little bit too forward and kicked the ball into the side there. Tough play for Pluto, especially when he had time to work with that ball like he did. Lights out, coming away in overtime. They do so good in these overtime situations, especially as the time goes on. They seem to get stronger and stronger as the play goes on.
I love Laz this game, just over and over and over again. He took home the hat trick. He was all around just the offensive juggernaut on that team. He surprised me because he just had absolute control of the field the entire time. Every time you saw Laz, he was the commit. He was the one being in for the challenge. He had so much of that control, and FlyQuest really was taken aback, I think, by that, because they had expected that to be, I mean, Aeon and Nomad have been historically throughout this series a bit more aggressive on offense and given Laz the third man back. Everything changed, and it just looked so right for them in that game. FlyQuest is going to have to do a little bit of adjustment here. They've got to make sure that they've got everyone in the right role today if they're going to be able to make another play for Game 7. Otherwise, if Lights Out keeps this momentum that they have going, I can see them holding on and potentially playing G2 tonight.
Either way, both of these teams have proven that they are ready for the challenge. They want to make their way into the finals, and the next win here will do it. This is Game 7. This is what the viewers and everyone want to see. I'm sure about that. We are down to a best of one. Nomad, good cut by there. That's dangerous, but he keeps this play alive. He had a 1-on-2 against him, and instead he has a heads-up play to push the ball downfield. That means his team now has field advantage. Laz, look at the center. Oh, look at that. Up off the wall. I really like that. That goes up off the ceiling, and a great read by Nomad. They don't get the goal there, but I love that pass coming out. Great plays from Lights Out. They are so good on offense.
They've definitely got the heads up on offense. We're seeing it more and more now. Their speed really working to their advantage. But you're going to see some more challenges now. You're going to see the FlyQuest squad getting a lot more aggressive, right? You've already seen AJ getting up in their face at this point. The pressure from the midfield that worked for them early on in this series can still be a good commit for them as long as they stop going in for challenges that don't make sense, but do keep the rotations on point and pick up those midfield boosts when appropriate.
I would not be surprised if FlyQuest plays this a little bit defensive. They had a good chance in that Game 6 to just put away this Lights Out team, but instead we're in Game 7. Pluto out to the center. He's got AJ there, but AJ doesn't get it. Aeon up onto the net, but the crossbar does not give him anything as that ball bounces down. Both Nomad and Aeon back in the backfield, just going to wait back. Aeon gets bumped by his teammate as he goes up, but he's able to get a hit on that. Downfield, and AJ with the clear, but neither team pushing up. We see a lot of two-men back situations where we've got these hard clears that are put right back into the hands of the defense, and the ball is just usually right back downfield.
Yeah, you know, I think that comes down to if we can bat it down, we can start putting a third man up at midfield and we can get a bit more aggressive. But those balls are just getting placed right back across the line and no one gets a chance to actually rotate into the aggressive position that they're hoping for. We're at the half now, 0-0. Game 7 of this best of 7 series. Moving on, potential winner here takes on G2 for the finals. And both of these teams are feeling that pressure right now, Sam.
Yeah, this very, very much feels like the overtimes that we've seen in this series, as the time ticks away here, the goals are going to be that much more important. Very well could be a 1-0 game that decides this one. AJ shot on Nomad. Nomad flicks it out into the corner. There's Prime Thunder, but now the overextension. They've got an open net down on the other end. Can they get the ball down? They don't, as AJ comes over, clogs up the corner. No shot on net for Lights Out. They now try their chance yet again. Upfield, Nomad has Aeon there, but Ronan there picks it up, and AJ as well. 3-on-1 now down low. Can Laz get this? The whiff is there, but no player of FlyQuest there. I know they didn't expect that there'd be a whiff, but they had full advantage. Hey, it doesn't matter, though, because they finally do get that first goal on the board. It is Prime Thunder. He's the goal-scoring threat for FlyQuest, and he puts his team on.
You know, Pluto sets up the dream, and then AJ and Prime Thunder come in for the finish. That was an all-hands-on-deck effort, and it looked so good. FlyQuest, when they get aggressive, also love Pluto's demo in there just to keep some security out in the corner. Goes in for that and removes the boost. Overall, that was a well-thought-out play, and it definitely makes the difference for them here with 1 minute and 20 seconds. There is not a whole lot of time for makeup here, but Lights Out, got to pull in that aggression. We saw Laz again last game. He had a lot of things to say on offense. Let's see if he can pull that out again, but also they can't be stalling in the corner like we're seeing right now. They've got to keep this one going. They work well when they've got momentum behind them.
Oh, definitely, and they work well when they're down into the offensive side of the field. We've seen them bounce back many times in this series, though. That is one thing about Lights Out. They will not go away. Oh, Laz, a glorious chance there. If he could have got that redirect on, that would have been a tough shot to save. But instead, it's AJ downfield, wins that 50-50, but can't win another. Pluto up, ball down, Ronan there. Just in time, and a nice hard clear coming from Prime Thunder. That's going to be on net and forces Aeon to get the chip. That's weak, though, and instead it's going to be back down into the Lights Out end. They have just under 30 seconds to go. If they do not score here, it will be FlyQuest. We are into this Game 7 opportunity, and it is the slimmest of margins. Pluto looking to the center for that shot. Can't get it. There's Laz. There's the man being aggressive like he does. But no shot. 10 seconds. Nomad and Laz both up. Pluto there with another save. So many saves coming from them. Goal line, but Laz, there it is.
Laz, looking good.
Oh, man, you called it. You got this guy on your radar for a reason.
Well, Nomad gets the challenge against Prime Thunder, and Pluto has to go up for this play, but he's about a second late and doesn't have the chance. Laz is already in on the outside of the 18 and has the perfect chance. 2 seconds now. Lead us into a potential for overtime. Is this the 5th or the 6th overtime in this best of 7?
Don't ask me that. I was going to ask you that.
It's got to be. It's either the 5th or the 6th, and if it's not, the game that wasn't was a 1-point differential. Holy cow.
Hey, it's not overtime yet, though. The ball just won't drop. Oh, man.
Here we are.
Oh, man. I can't do another overtime. I'm glad this is Game 7. I'm about to have a heart attack.
The Genesis Lights Out matchup in the play-ins was a critical game. FlyQuest has been the kind of players to show up and make this happen. Pluto has to prove, hey, our team did well against Lights Out before. Now here I am with FlyQuest. Can we do it as a team here? Wonders out. It changes the dynamic a little bit of this team. Lights Out has had so much in their favor coming into the second half of this series. I am so impressed with the way that they've been playing so far. FlyQuest has got to prove their position because they are the favorite coming into this matchup.
Oh, definitely. This would be huge for Lights Out if they can get this win. They have been so much the Cinderella story.
No way.
Lights Out.
Holy crap.
FlyQuest are going home, and it will be Lights Out as Nomad puts them into the finals.
Oh, Nomad, that was so beautiful. Oh, man. That's glamour shot of the day there, Nomad. That was absolutely amazing there. Lights Out. Prove it in overtime again and again and again. And Nomad shows up, proves I'm not the third man back. I'm not just the defender. I've got a lot to prove here. Here I am. Watch me. An absolutely incredible shot there. Brings it out against FlyQuest. Now, a complete change-up from expectations walking into this. You look at the numbers. You look at the paper. It's FlyQuest taking on G2 based on the semifinal matchups. Boy, we were so wrong here. What an incredible a play brought up by FlyQuest. They definitely had the chance to make this one happen. But Lights Out, here you are. It is time to shine. Taking on the North American League Play champions right now. It is going to be quite the match coming up for the grand finals.
Oh, definitely. This is a huge test now for Lights Out. I've seen them continue to battle almost every tournament that we hold that Lights Out is in. I don't care what the tournament is, they make it far. They make it into at least the semifinals. I mentioned before the Proving Grounds last month. They got second place and took home that second place prize. They're going to at least get second place here in this tournament. So Lights Out showing that even though they're not in the RLRS, they're not in the RLCS, they can still compete against these teams. So Unthink, we have got our finals set. The stage is there. G2 have been waiting in the wings, and now it's going to be Lights Out that face them in this best of 7 finals series. So guys, do not go anywhere. We will take a quick break, but we will be right back with the continuation of the Spring Open.